Contributing to his free country, the United States of America, the perpetual story of Keith Cameron Noll. Recognizing those who served and acknowledging their service means more than you think to them. My father and our family are third-generation veterans, and my father is a second-generation Pennsylvania state trooper. I am delighted to go through my hometown and see my great-grandpa, grandpa, and father's hometown heroes banners hanging for their service to our community and country. Not only does their service benefit certain people or communities, but also our entire country. The United States of America, our country, would not have the freedoms and opportunities we have today without those who fought for them. Not all veterans like to be acknowledged or bring back memories from their service, but I feel that it is important to acknowledge and thank them for their service because we would not have the freedoms and opportunities we have today without them. Noll was born on December 6, 1974, in Wilmington, Delaware, to Elwood and Janet Noll. Noll is the oldest of three. He has two younger sisters, Erin Marquette, now married, and Abby Noll. Keith was born in Wilmington, Delaware, because that was the closest hospital from where they lived in Pennsylvania, because of his father's career in the Pennsylvania State Police. Noll then moved to Schaefferstown, Pennsylvania, where he had lived his life since he was a year old. Noll then attended school and excelled in classes at Eastern Lebanon County School District. After receiving his high school diploma, Noll then attended Pennsylvania State University for his bachelor's degree. While still attending college, Noll enlisted in the Army, more specifically the Pennsylvania National Guard. Noll chose to enter the Pennsylvania National Guard because the headquarters are close to his hometown, and he was still in college. After committing to the Pennsylvania National Guard, he attended Fort Indiantown Gap for his 4 years of active duty service. Noll said,
"Close to my residence, I knew I wanted to serve my country, and it was relatively close when I'd go for weekend drills, so it just seemed to fit."
Firstly, to get into the military, Noll had to complete the ASVAB test. This test determined what job in the military he would be qualified for. After the test was completed, he then took the physical fitness requirement test called MEPS. This is where they make sure you are physically fit and able to perform the military lifestyle training. After completing the test, Noll attended and had to complete basic training and then specialized training. He had 8 weeks of basic training. Noll did most of his basic training in Indiantown Gap, but he did attend Fort Jackson Base for some basic training. Noll was then given a specific duty that he had to complete training for. He was assigned to the finance unit within the Pennsylvania National Guard 28th Infantry Division. Noll had 8 to 10 weeks called AIT training. He was assigned to the Lebanon Armory 9208 Finance Unit in Lebanon, which is detached from the 28th Infantry Division. This is where he spent his whole time in the Pennsylvania National Guard. In his job in the finance unit, he was in charge of paying the soldiers so they had enough money for needs and to send home if they were deployed and have their own family at home. At his job, they would get audited quarterly and then again yearly. Noll's typical day was waking up to the drill sergeants, yelling at them to wake up around 3:30 to be in the PT field for physical training. After the physical training, he would come back and shower and put on his BDU camouflage uniform. He was then assigned chores for the day, which was like your duty. After you complete your duty, you would go to breakfast, then classes and instruction the remainder of the day. Noll started out as a private first class. Then after about 3.5 years, he got promoted to a specialist. More specifically, he was promoted to a specialist E4. Being an E4 means you're a senior to the younger enlisted soldiers. As an E4, Noll would make sure the younger and newer soldiers were doing the right thing. This was Noll's final rank when he got out of the military. Noll received a couple medals while he was serving in the military. Noll received the Army Achievement Medal, a General Conduct Medal, a Colonel's Letter of Achievement for being a good citizen to the community, and participating in functions at a Legion to acknowledge and thank those who fought and were in the service previously. Noll's most vivid memory from his service was getting off the airplane at Fort Jackson around 3 o'clock in the morning and having drill sergeants yelling left and right at them. Noll said,
"That was probably the most significant thing and will last and has left a very strong impression on me."
The best thing Noll can remember about his training and service is walking across the parade field knowing that he's completed 4 years of military service and it is all over. SPC Keith C. Noll, veteran of the United States Pennsylvania Army National Guard, is honored to have served his wonderful free country, the United States of America. Noll did not only serve his country in one way with the Army, but also with the Pennsylvania State Police. Noll put his life on the line for his country and his loved ones for 4 years with the Pennsylvania National Guard and 25 years with the Pennsylvania State Police. Mr. Noll faced adversity, distress, and hardships at times in his time of service. Noll completed his dream and goal of becoming a third-generation United States veteran and second-generation Pennsylvania State Trooper through difficult and grueling times.